right, good. Here, go on. Go on. She listens so good. All right, then sit down. Act proper. Hey, stay. Stay. All right, so we thought we would take a moment to sort of maybe possibly make an attempt to bring everyone up to speed on what's going on here. We got some funny comments a while back, and we made a video with our tractor pulling some carving wood up off the side of the hill and loading it in a little trailer that we have. And some of those comments were pretty funny. So that kind of brought to my attention that I think there's some people out there that are completely not understanding at all, even remotely close to, they don't understand what's going on here. And one of the comments said, when we were pulling the logs up out of the ditch, the comment said, this guy is a poser. He's just some yuppie that has more money than he knows what to do with and bought an old tractor and just to abuse or something like that. So that was a funny comment. The next comment was, how'd this one go? Oh yeah, we have this little trailer that we bought. It's like a little 8-foot trailer. It's the smallest trailer you can get, and we've selected this trailer because it's also the cheapest trailer that you can get. And whenever you have a budget like ours, you can't afford a really big trailer. So we have the smallest trailer and the most inexpensive trailer, and it's an efficient trailer that goes behind our small tractor, which is also the most inexpensive tractor you can get. But we use that trailer to go through the woods and to get firewood because it's so small and you can maneuver through the woods. But we also use it to harvest carving wood around because it's the only trailer we have. It's the only thing we could afford. But the comment was, this guy's an idiot. He doesn't know anything. It's almost like he didn't think anything through. That's a little 4-wheeler trailer. It's not made for logging. Like, I had walked past the 20-foot gooseneck trailer and the 350 Ford and the skidder and said, oh, no, that 20-foot gooseneck trailer, we don't need that. Let me select the better tool for this logging job. Yes, that little 4-wheeler trailer is exactly what we need. I'll use that one. No, we don't have a 20-foot gooseneck trailer. That's the only trailer we have. So we have to use that. But anyways, yeah, I just don't think that they understand exactly what is happening here. So on our homestead, anything that you've seen here on our homestead, like this tractor, like our little 4-wheeler trailer, anything, we bought with money that we've earned from hand carving, from our own 2 hands, making a product and selling it and engaging people and in selling a product that we make and that we can stand behind because we believe it's a good product. So, yeah, when we showed up here at the side of this rocky hill, we had nothing, absolutely nothing. We had $600, so that's something, I guess. But in terms of reality, $600 is not much money. So we had $600, and it was late fall, and we showed up here on the side of this rugged hill. And we had already built this little shack previously, this little 12 by 16 just wood frame shack with nothing. There was no insulation, there was no drywall, there was no interior, but we had enough foresight to have built that through this complicated, unforeseen sequence of events that happened. But we were lucky enough to have built that shack. So when we showed up here, we had the shack and we had the box of tools, and we had $600, and it was late fall and winter was coming on. And so we had to take that $600 and make it all the way through winter, and then early, whenever we could through the winter, we would carve and we would work and do this and do that, blah blah blah. So the first summer was pretty rough. We had nothing to work the land with. We had nothing to improve our lives. We had nothing to go get carving wood with except for our own 2 hands. And anybody who's ever gone out manhandling logs would know that that's hard work, really really hard work. And so to carry the wood and then to process the wood with hatchets and chisels on the side of a hill with no shop, just a rugged, rocky hill, that's fairly difficult. And so, anyways, eventually we saved enough money to buy this tractor and to buy our little 4-wheeler trailer that we use to get firewood and to get everything. So that's kind of what's happening here. Everything that you see, we've built with our ability to grow from our ability to make things with our hands, with our box of tools. And that's why we don't have that much. And it's also why we don't have a 20-foot gooseneck trailer or a skidder. We have to use this old tractor here and our little four-wheeler trailer. But you can trust me, it took a lot of spoon carving to save enough money to buy this tractor. This tractor cost $2,300 is what we paid for it. And which is a lot of money for an 8N. But this one was in fairly good shape. It had a couple issues, but we worked out those problems over the time. And yeah, so that's what is kind of happening here. I think this might better explain or maybe help everyone understand what's going on. So to continue down that path, we would carve our spoons and bowls, and then we would sell them at a market. Now, the closest farmer's market to here was a 3-hour drive. That is a long drive. However, we don't have a car. We only have bicycles. So my sister, she done the market, and sister-in-law also done the market. So we would have to hitch a ride with them to get to market. That was very difficult because there was no room in their cars for our stuff. And so we would have to put some stuff here, then juggle it here, then drop it off at this other place and catch another ride and blah, blah, blah. We'd have to leave it, I think it was like 2:30 in the morning to get to market, which was okay. That worked, and we were making enough money, well, to not die, really. I don't know if you could call it making a living, but we did make enough money to not die. And slowly but surely save money to buy the tractor, which really, really improved our situation. Then we could bring logs to the mill, and we could get more carving wood and things like that. And once we could get logs to the mill, it enabled us to build chicken house and blacksmith shop and this wood shop that you see right here behind us. And this wood shop is really, we focused our money and all our attention right on this wood shop and this tractor shed immediately before we've done almost anything, because that's an essential when you make things with your hands. Standing out on the side of a rocky hill is really difficult. So, but then, so the market scene sort of deteriorated for us because of the whole COVID-19. That made the market impossible to do because the market's shut down for a long time. So that really messed us up. So we were sort of high and dry there for a moment, not knowing what we were going to do. But so what we tried to do from there was we tried to sell things online. So we pursued Etsy. That was our next option. Now we put some things on Etsy, and Etsy is like, for anybody who's done it, they'll probably know what I'm talking about. Like if you think, oh, I'll make my business more visible by using Etsy, that will help. And so that would be like taking your business card and walking down to the seashore, and the sea not be filled with water, but be filled with business cards. And then you're taking your card and you're giving it a fling out into the sea that's filled with business cards, and then the tide carrying your business card out and it sinking to the bottom, and somehow imagining that's going to make your business more visible. But there's no visibility there at all. No one can ever see your Etsy account because there's a billion Etsy accounts, and some of them are pretty good and some of them are pretty bad, but there's just unlimited Etsy accounts. So we started to advertise our Etsy in hopes to make it more visible on YouTube. So that actually did work a little bit, and we got some traffic to go over and click on our Etsy site. And so in, I think, a month or maybe a little better than a month that we've had our Etsy account, we have earned, just to bring things up to like real-time speed here, we've earned close to $1,000, which was, that's not very much to make in a month. You know, that's nothing to live on for a month. But for us, it was a good bit of money. And so out of that $1,000, we've had to buy some things, you know, like sawmill gas and gas for the tractor to get logs and things like that, and sandpaper and coal for our forge. We have to buy some coal for the forge, which it all adds up. You know, it really cuts into your ability to spend money on food and not starve to death. But this month's investment, what we're going to do is we're going to take some of that $1,000 that we made off of Etsy, and we are going to reinvest it back into our business and try to get everything to grow. That's our first thing. We can't really just the first thing we have to do with any money we get is to reinvest it in our homestead, into our shop, into our equipment, or into tools. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get us a propane forge and that propane forge will allow us to have more control on tempering steel properly for making carving tools and knives and things like that. And that will enable us to be more efficient with our woodworking because we can better make the tools that we need. But also, it can enable us to have things like knives and a larger variety of woodworking tools for sale that will also help our income. So, yes, that was an attempt to sort of bring everyone up to speed and sort of better understand what's happening here. A couple with more money than we know what to do with, and just outposing being a fake homesteader. That's not really what you see here. What you see here is more of a life and death survival situation that's fairly difficult to explain. But this was my attempt to explain that. So I hope this shines some light on what's going on. And the first like 2 years of us being here, we couldn't film, or we couldn't put any of it on YouTube because we had no way to film it. We had no way to put it on YouTube. And so we eventually, from doing market, and after we got our tractors and the shop built and everything, we took some of that money and we purchased the most inexpensive prepaid phone you could ever get. And we started our YouTube channel from that phone, and that's pretty much where we're at now. So we don't have any real editing equipment or anything either. Everything you see is just made on a really inexpensive phone. But at least we can sort of document some of what's going on. But we did miss the first like 2 years of what was happening here, which is probably for the best because there was a lot of hard times. But anyways, yeah, I hope that sort of brings everyone up to speed a little bit and they can better understand what is going on. So long story short, yeah, make sure to check out our Etsy account. We'll put a link to that in the description. And thanks everyone for their support, because since we started making videos, we've got a lot of really, really positive comments, and that is really important. In this world, community is a really, really important thing. You can't really have exist with a fulfilled feeling without community. Community is hard to find these days. You can live shoulder to shoulder, surrounded in populated areas like we have in the past, and just because there's a high volume of people doesn't mean that there's a really healthy element of community. In fact, most of the time, there is no community. There's just viciousness and abandonment and judgment and ridicule, and those are all really, really sad things. But these are the times we live in now are a little bit different, so you have to kind of look further to find community. And a lot of the people who respond with comments and questions, I feel like they're not our neighbors right next door, but that's because this isn't the time, you know, that our grandparents lived or grew up in. It's a different time, but I do feel like we're establishing a pretty good community, and that does give us a good feeling, getting comments and answering questions and just sort of sharing our information and our lifestyle with everyone. So thanks everyone for the comments and for watching and for all the support. We really, really appreciate that. That does give us a good feeling of community. So I hope this video brings some sort of better understanding on what you've been seeing here on our channel, and we'll try to keep posting videos. And yeah, thanks for all your support. We'll see you next time.